Have you ever stayed awake for as long as you possibly can? Eventually, sleep is imposed on you. Even if you just can try to stay awake for as long as possible, it's eventually imposed. Even if we think about other types of rest, if you think of downtime and you think of if downtime for you brings up your phone, teenagers learn that either you self-manage your phone and screen usage or it becomes imposed on you. And this happens in a lot of areas. This is what one of the things that we want our teenagers to learn is not just for it always to be imposed, but to learn to self-manage, to self-regulate rest and activity, times we do and don't do things. And the teacher in Ecclesiastes is talking about these types of rhythms. A big theme through the first part of Ecclesiastes that then carries on is this idea of time and thinking about this rhythm of rest in order to be able to live well. And this writer names two extremes in this, and then he names a healthier balance. And so we're going to have a quick look at this, the two extremes and then the healthier balance. First, he says this in Ecclesiastes 4. He says, "Then I saw that all toil and all skill in work come from a person's envy of their neighbor. This also is vanity and striving after wind." What do you think that he's saying here? The ideas of what this is saying, what's this communicating? We're just having ideas, it doesn't have to be right or wrong. Yep. Yeah, someone who's working really hard, but the reason why they're pushing themselves to work really hard is because they're jealous of someone else. They want to get better than them. They want to be ahead. And the writer is saying that this is vanity. The word there is the word that's used right throughout Ecclesiastes, Hebel. It's like grabbing at smoke. It's something that actually is unproductive. You won't get there by doing that. It's vain. It's self-serving, it's pointless, it's striving after the wind. And then so the opposite response to this is, I'm not going to drive to try to get better than other people because that's about my envy of them and wanting to be ahead, then look, I just won't do anything. Here's the other extreme. The fool folds his hands and eats his own flesh. What's happening here? What's being communicated? What does he do? Does nothing. He folds his hands and does nothing. And it says, it's a pretty gross image here. It just means he devours himself. He comes to nothing. If you eat your own flesh, you die. So you just kind of waste away. You come to nothing by doing nothing, by folding his hands. And then the writer names a third option. Here's the third option, better than overwork and no work. He says, better is a handful of quietness than 2 hands full of toil and striving after wind. What do you think is being communicated here? Space for rest rather than these 2 hands of striving and chasing after something that is not actually achievable for you. It's pointless. And this is about finding and learning this balance, this rhythm, the way I like to think about it. People talk about work-life balance. I think it's better to think about it in terms of work-life rhythm. These rhythms of work and activity and rhythms of rest. And we have to learn these different rhythms at all different ages. For you who are young, you're learning your rhythms of work and being at school and activity, and then what it means for you to rest. and not just come home and sit on your phone, because that's not actually restful for you. Then you're learning to manage your screen usage, and you're sitting and reading a book or playing something without screen that feels unproductive or doesn't feel as exciting. And we need to learn these rhythms at all time, learning how we play and what sport is for us, and what things like reading and art and listening to music, without achieving a goal. These things are either learned, self-managed, or they become imposed on us. You might say, well, how do these things become imposed on us? Well, if you keep driving yourself, you will fall over. You're limited. It's about learning our limits and being willing to manage those limits. So we are going to head up to our Kids Life program in a moment. I'm going to pray for our youth and our kids. Father, thank you for this time to be together. And even this time now is a time for us to be at rest, to be together with family, to learn together. And so we ask that your Spirit would give each one of us rest today, that you would still things in us that are out of order, that feel fuzzy or muddled or feel uncomfortable in us. Give us rest with you and with one another. Amen. All right, we're going to head off to our Kids Life programs. We've got our toddlers who head out the back in this room here, and then our primary age children are upstairs. We don't have our youth programs on at the moment, so our youth will stay in with us in the service here.
Thanks, Steve. So feel free to jump up and move, and some of you also might want to go to a different gathering in Mandarin or Cantonese, so feel free to do that as well. We're going to have just a little chat together, and there might be some things that would be good to share with the group, so I'll give you a minute to think about that. Just at short notice, Asher, after the gathering this morning, is going to do some ark building lessons, so if you would like to build an ark, which may come in handy, you can hang back for that. Thank you very much. Sam, can you tell us a little bit about Stuff for Youth?
Thank you. Yes, so youth are still staying down here on Sundays until term kickoff. Friday nights, we're starting January 30th. We're doing a series on who is Jesus, so the personhood, king, servant, son, God, all that good stuff. So January 30th, running fortnightly through to Easter. And if John goes to the next slide, we're still open to volunteers for both Sunday, so the food and the discussion groups, or for leaders on the Friday nights, if you think that could be you, or if you want to throw anyone you know under the bus who would be of use, then let me know. Or you can also chat to Ali there, or Kimmers when he's back. And the Young at Hearts, this is our kind of not really young adult, just if you feel mentally young, regardless of the state of your body, you are more than welcome. Anyone's welcome, really. But post-service, January 25th, we're going to do board games and hot pot. That's going to be happening here. If you're coming, please just RSVP in the WhatsApp, and you can scan that QR code to join the WhatsApp if you're not already a part of it. Yeah, cool. Cheers.
Thanks, Sam. Those of us who are not in denial but recognise that our bodies are ageing but still want to be vibrant, young and at heart type people, gather on Tuesdays, and you are welcome to come to that if you are free. That kicks off in Feb, our Oasis group. You'll notice the first meeting for this year on the 3rd, we've got an oncologist, Annie Ho, is coming to talk to us. It's dealing with some men's issues, but it's good that women also understand these issues. It might be a really good one to invite a friend to come to get some good information from her. She's carved out some time for us as a gift, so we don't want to just have a small group who benefit from that. So it's a really good thing to invite people to come and enjoy. That might be the only time they come through the year, but they might get a taste for it and keep coming back. So that's coming up on Tuesday, starting on the 3rd of Feb, understanding prostate cancer and the patient's journey. So useful information. We share lots of things together. We share what God gives us. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who contributes to our offering. You might have seen in the e-news or on WhatsApp some results over recent months. So thank you for everyone who's contributing so regularly and generously. That enables our church to run. If we don't do that, we can't support all of the different things we do. Any other news that people want to share with us before I pray? We've got some friends behind, thanks Chris, from the Highlands. They're here for about 5 days in Sydney. They'll come back a bit later and maybe share with us, but you might, if you know these faces, they look a bit different.